2-page. We will go through the members and ask who's present. Steve Boucher?
Yep.
Peter Gamba?
Yeah.
I'm here. Mr. Davinian? Peter Benoit?
Yeah.
Ryan Resendes?
Yeah.
Jesse St. Gelais?
Here.
Paul Sullivan?
Here.
Melissa Cadera?
Here.
And any alternates on teams right now? Kelsey Janik or Jacob Bellavino?
No.
That would be negative. Okay, very good. Is there a motion to call the meeting to order?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. The first order of business that we have is to approve the minutes of February 12, 2026. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve the minutes as submitted.
I'll second that.
Motion's made and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Abstain?
Mr. Benoit abstained.
Yeah, that was in character.
Thank you. First order of business on the discussion, item A would be remaining comments on full master plan draft layout. I will be perfectly honest with the committee members, I still am not done reviewing it, and we had some highlights from Lizeth that was sent over, my request, we talked about it last time, Victoria, and I know we got them about, is Lizeth right there on the
Yeah.
TV screen. We got them like 5-6 days ago, whatever it may be, so I don't know how the committee feels, if they want to hold off and do further review for comments. Why not?
I agree with that.
I do too.
Yep.
I have a
So all those in favor on holding off on item A, 2A? Yep.
Agreed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Aye.
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 Unanimous. Melissa?
Aye.
And Peter, you good? Good waiting?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Unanimous. Okay, so did everybody, Victoria, did everybody get, because you had sent over a little bit the agenda to me, and I can't see everybody that's on it, so I don't know if you send out everything as individuals and things of the like, so did
Oh,
everybody
yes.
get Lizette's comments that she made at the last meeting about?
Yes, with the specific pages of where the changes were,
Correct.
yes, that went out to everybody.
Everybody's good with that? You all received it?
I received it.
Okay, good. So if everybody's got that, please review it, and we can take that topic up hopefully at the next meeting and keep this process moving forward. So the second item on the discussion is open space and recreation plan draft layout. I don't know who wants to take that.
Yes, I'll handle that. Good evening,
Good evening.
ladies, gentlemen. I'm excited to present to you the highlights from the OSRP. We have made a mini version, a very concise summary that I'll show you in our story map. And when I get,
I'm sorry, just say your name.
yes, Sarah Singh, Principal Environmental Planner at Serpide. So I will go through the story map, and I'll try not to talk too much because I don't want to bore you and be reading out loud to you the whole time. But if you want me to start reading, I'm happy to do that.
Thank you.
And then when I get to the end, I will switch gears and show you the spreadsheet. If you recall, we had a MPC meeting back in November 13th, and that was when we showed you the goals and strategies, which became the action plan spreadsheet, and we had incorporated your feedback and comments in real time. Mostly we had covered priority levels, whether it's high, medium, or low priority. So that was the day when we updated the spreadsheet. Since then, it has not changed, but I will show it to you to jog your memory. And it'll be one final opportunity in case you see any more changes or corrections you'd like to make.
Very good.
Without further ado, I will start screen sharing. All right. Is there any way we can maximize that window showing the story map and minimize this part?
You should be able to
Can you
look at
have
it.
an
Should
Xbox,
be
the
able.
box right on the side of the X? Make this-
Oh, that's gonna minimize.
No,
Yeah.
no, one on this, the one on the, oh, you can't see it on the screen, yeah, right there, so you're heading to it, move the arrow, see the little arrow right above chat? No,
This?
to the, yeah, that one.
Oh, no, that's on her screen. That's what she's.
Oh, she can't make it big.
And what if you hover over me and you see the dot dot dot? Do you see an option to hide me and the others?
Yeah, you should be
Oh, I
able to
see
hide
what
all
you're saying.
that.
Yeah, I know you can do it on Zoom.
Yep.
I'm not seeing it. I'm sorry.
Okay. Oh,
Can you get where it says people gonna talk to you? We got 3 there.
It just gets it out.
how about in view?
That was the only thing I was saying, maybe I the view settings, but I'm relatively new to Teams
Hold on,
too.
I think I got it. Why is this not going up on the screen?
So it's basically 2 monitors, like the laptop's the main one and then I drag it
Oh.
over, and when you drag it over, it goes.
Oh, you did it!
There it goes.
She figured it out!
Put the camera on that girl. Good job.
Thank you.
All right. Again, this is a concise summary, so a lot of details, specific numbers, statistics, those you will find in the draft OSRP, which is about 120 pages. This is a mini version of that. You already know the purpose, and there are these 5 main elements: the community setting, environmental assessment, community vision, inventory of lands, and the 10-year action plan. You all have guided this process beautifully, and we began back in November 2024. For public participation and outreach, we did a lot of public workshops, open house events, local community events. We had a joint survey for the OSRP and water resources all together in one. And we also, the Serpent team met with local departments. I went and did a little presentation to Concom. We had a sit-down discussion with New Bedford DPI. We also met with Buzzards Bay Coalition. And overall, in our survey responses, we saw a consistent desire for preserving the town's rural character, expanding recreational opportunities, and protecting natural resources. Now, I won't tell you about your town, you already know about it. But we noted that there are these 3 distinct areas that define the geography: the head of the river, parting ways, and Long Plain.
Hello, everyone.
Well,
What a great
That was great.
It's still not even close to as bad as I was once.
Can we do that?
and those of you in the back, can you see this okay?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. So Acushnet is still a semi-rural community, but also closely connected to regional employment centers, especially in New Bedford and Fall River. Y'all are part of the Buzzards Bay watershed, and that requires regional coordination for effective water resources management, because watershed boundaries don't follow municipal boundaries. Historically, your community was largely agricultural. Then a maritime industry emerged, more in New Bedford, but it also impacted Acushnet. Manufacturing began to develop along the Acushnet River. And following World War II, there was a boom in suburban development, which expanded So Acushnet increasingly became a residential community, a bedroom community. The current population, as of the Census Bureau estimate from 2024, it's 10,700 residents. Compare that to 9,762. That was the number back in 1990. So that was 34 years ago. Little bit of growth.
Not much. 734 years.
Yeah. Bristol County and Massachusetts overall have grown more quickly than the town in terms of population. Residential development has primarily taken the form of single-family homes on relatively large lots. The town continues to maintain significant open space and forest areas. I'll zoom into this map for a second. Oh, cannot scroll down. All right. The median age is about 46 years old, higher than the statewide median. 19% are school age, 61% are working age, and about 1/5 of residents are senior citizens. And in the survey responses, there was a pretty clear demand for more recreational opportunities for all ages, but especially opportunities accessible to older adults. More walking paths, more nature trails, and community spaces. And the details of that are in the OSRP draft. If you go down in that document to the needs analysis. And then also in the appendix, you can find the details of those survey responses. Acushnet remains a mostly white community, little bit of demographic diversity increase in recent years, especially the Hispanic and Latino population. And that highlights the need for inclusivity in our signage, our programming. EJ communities are here surrounding Acushnet Town Center. And the green community is characterized by being lower income, lower than the median for the state. And the yellow-orange community is characterized by minority status. So today, most land in the town is zoned for residential use. Single-family homes are still the dominant housing type. There are large agricultural tracts. They have been gradually subdivided for housing. Balancing residential development with the preservation of open space remains one of the central planning challenges today. Oops. Okay. Major watersheds. Most of the town's land area drains into the Acushnet River through Buzzards Bay. The watershed includes numerous tributaries, ponds, wetlands, and groundwater recharge areas. Very important for ecological systems and recreation. The New Bedford Reservoir, also known as Lake Street Ponds, located in the northern portion of the town, serves as the headwaters of the Acushnet River. And here's a map of all of the different watersheds. This aquamarine color is Buzzards Bay. Next to that, lavender, Mount Hope Bay. Next to that is Narragansett Bay. And up here in green is the Taunton River watershed. So that is the regional context, and Acushnet lies entirely within the Buzzards Bay watershed. The landscape was shaped by glacial processes, which resulted in this unique geology. All of these landforms, such as drumlins, the glacial outwash plain, erratic boulders, bluestone gneiss formation, all of that was formed by the glaciers receding and leaving behind deposits of sand, gravel, and glacial till. The soils tend to be poorly drained, and that limits development in certain areas, but it does have some benefits for water filtration, flood protection, and wildlife habitat. The glacial outwash areas also support groundwater recharge. 19% of Acushnet's land area, especially in the southwestern portion of town, has been significantly altered by urban development. Paved surfaces, building footprints, regrading. The built environment is almost 1/5 of the land area. And as you can see, the predominant soil type here, or geology, is till or bedrock. The large sand deposits here in green are just a small portion. And this light colored area is sand and gravel. This map shows topography, the terrain elevations. You all have a mix of prime farmland, farmland of statewide importance, and farmland of unique importance. And you can look at this table as a hierarchy, with prime farmland obviously being on top because it is the best, top tier. So that's defined as land with the best combination of physical and chemical characteristics for economically producing sustained high yields of food, feed, forage, fiber, and oilseed crops. The difference with this next one, farmland of state importance, is that generally these include lands that are almost prime farmland, meaning almost excellent quality. And farmland of unique importance, these might be used to produce specific high-value food and crops. The unique soils tend to be confined to muck, peats, coarse sands. This type of farmland tends to be associated with cranberries and other primary commercial crops. So what you see on this map is there is a great deal of prime farmland, which is all these dark green regions. And then followed by the light green, farmland of statewide importance. And I see very, very little, the palest green being farmland of unique importance. Little pockets right here. Your town has a strong rural identity. It's known for its picturesque landscapes, the forests, farmland, wetlands, river corridor, rolling hills, wooded uplands, wetland systems. There are also scenic rural roads. And all of this is highly valued by residents, which is what we saw in the survey responses. They want to keep it that way. Large natural areas such as the Acushnet River Corridor and the Acushnet Cedar Swamp maintain ecological connectivity and provide wildlife habitat. Water resources. The New Bedford Reservoir is the largest surface water body, created in 1869, originally to supply drinking water for New Bedford. Now it primarily serves ecological functions and to some extent recreation, but to enhance its recreational value, as we discuss in the full draft, some improvements are needed for the invasive aquatic species. And that is something that is currently working with Lake Street Pond Committee. We are actively pursuing invasives remediation in the Lake Street ponds. That's also something found in the action plan. The lower Acushnet River has experienced significant industrial contamination in the past. So these pink circles are marking the wellhead protection areas. This aquamarine represents wetlands. The darkest green is high yield aquifers right here. After that, we have medium yield aquifers. Over here is approved zone 2 aquifers. And in light blue, all the surface water bodies.
What are the rings?
The rings are interim wellhead protection areas.
What's that mean?
That means building should not happen too close to them, and they might be designated differently in the near future. They're interim for now.
How was that, just a little history on that, how was that determined?
It is likely determined by the state, but which agency, I don't want to guess, so let me write that down and get back to you. Who determines wellhead protection zones?
Basically, it's potential fall sites.
Oh. Is that where all those drills went?
No, I'm just looking at some of the locations there, I mean, you up there, where we are off of,
No, we still only knew where the millions of dollars went.
yeah.
They
That's
wrote-
what,
they
we
wrote
don't,
that.
I don't, if I'm looking at the map, if you, can you just bring that down with us, we'll take a look at that?
This one?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
The rings?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Neither do I. Main
That's
Street.
just been houses put inside of that little spot.
That's the trailer park area.
And then you got on Main Street, that's gonna be Quaker Wells, because the wells are still back
The
there.
one, yeah, the ones up way up on the top, there's quite wells up there, right? You got 105, you go opposite road, but you get coming down further by Perry Hill. I would believe this was, no, it's not Perry Hill, what's that
No.
crossroad with the big, it's a good size.
You can't see. Sorry.
I can send a list out if you after.
Just trying to figure out
Yeah,
what
but
those,
just-
what
Yeah,
those
I
rings
don't
are,
think
where they're located.
Yeah, are you able to send a list
Yeah.
and I can relay it to the committee of where the,
Yes.
Some of the stuff is determined by looking at current back in the day.
Trailer park and country wood.
This next map shows FEMA flood hazard areas. I'm gonna try to zoom in. But as As you can see, I'm a little constrained because I can't scroll down.
Whoa. Whoa. Got turtles.
Yeah, so there are all these different designations indicating risk level. There's 1% annual chance of flooding, 0.2%, etc. And in the full OSRP draft, we have captions to explain what these maps mean. So you do not want to live around here. Vegetation. So we made a little change to the vegetation that was listed in the previous OSRP. I looked up every plant one by one and realized that some of these, the ones colored red, they were included in the old OSRP, but they are actually invasives. They were included because they are commonly found in Acushnet, but they shouldn't be. We really should be aware that these don't belong here. Everything else is native.
You trying to say we need to kick them out?
Oh,
The ones you have in red,
yeah,
they need to be kicked out?
yeah,
Okay, so identify where they live and we'll kick them out, okay?
okay.
What's the thing, right?
They ain't paying rent.
Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful wildlife. And we have,
Were those pictures actually taken from our town?
yeah,
Huh.
they were.
The owl's pretty cool.
I've seen turtles like that.
What's the box turtle?
Huh?
I think a turtle like that can.
I used to have a turtle. You still have
It's
turtles?
probably a turtle. It's over there though. I'll have to ask you next time.
Yeah, why don't you do that? See if it's got my address on it.
You write it on the channel.
And if you all have any wildlife or scenic photos that you want included in the OSRP, send them my way, and I'm happy to credit you for your photos.
Must have plenty of pictures of that.
Got a lot of pictures of deer.
We don't want those pictures.
The tree.
They probably got crosshairs, they probably got crosshairs over them anyway.
Send a picture of jerky.
I got recipes.
All right, so all the wildlife in their different habitats are laid out in this table. Hardwood forests, agricultural lands, and wetlands.
I don't see any fishy cat there.
Fisher
That's a-
cat,
Yeah. That made them.
we do a keyword search.
And I
Yeah,
didn't,
yeah.
I didn't know we had bigs in our town.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
I've seen
do.
them.
Muskrats, probably, that's news.
Yeah.
No?
Oh, yeah, what's this thing?
There's two of them.
Yeah.
There's Susie and Sam.
You are right. I don't see a Fisher cat in
You
here.
sure that isn't that thing that sees the shadow every year, because there's two of them.
Have you seen one lately?
Oh, they're around.
They're around.
definitely,
They're pretty
yeah.
elusive. It's been a while since, a couple of years since I've seen them, but before that, never used to. Over the past 10 years, we started
I see them in the
Were you
woods.
seeing?
Fisher cats.
Fisher cats, yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
You're not hallucinating?
No, not at that time.
I don't know if you were eating any of the wild mushrooms.
No, I don't mind watching, no. No, I was standing in my yard and looking at it, no, that wasn't it, no.
Well, that's good news. I'm happy to hear it, and I'll put it in the table.
Right down by the river.
All right.
Down, right down by the tunnels.
Killing me.
You all have some lovely local traditions and community events, including that Apple Peach Festival. You also have some environmental challenges. The loss of open space due to residential development, fragmentation of habitat, water quality concerns in Acushnet River, wetlands, the spread of invasive plant species in the Lake Street ponds, and the increase in stormwater runoff coming off impervious surfaces. So addressing these will require coordinated planning, probably with your neighboring communities as well, conservation strategy, and community engagement. We also discussed climate change impacts in the draft. You can expect more intense precipitation and flooding over the coming decades, rising temperatures and heat impacts, meaning hotter summers, higher peak temperatures, more hot days every summer, changes in seasonal precipitation patterns that could look like a false spring, or having winter weather when you're not expecting it, increased drought risk as well. But I also want you to know that of all the places to live in the country, being in Massachusetts, we're relatively well insulated from the worst of climate change. This is a good place to be, New England, Massachusetts, and especially if you're not too close to the coast, you don't need to worry.
The rule of thumb is 100 feet above sea level, right? My neighborhood's exactly 100 feet above sea level. I just got the map, my neighbor's septic system, so I know it's 100 feet above sea level.
This map shows hotspots.
No, I went to look at it.
So mostly in the town
What
center,
the hell's going on?
you see these red hotspots. These are heat stress areas. And that's a typical pattern. We tend to see that wherever there is the most built environment, wherever there's a lot of pavement, concrete, buildings, that is where heat tends to get trapped, hence these hotspots.
Is that mostly due to pavement, you're saying, right?
Waters.
Right,
hotspots,
right. It's the effect
because-
of the materials, the building materials themselves, trapping heat.
Holds it.
If you go back to the previous map real quick,
Mhm.
and you can see the red spots, I mean, that's highly dense areas of housing, but you can see other areas of the town that are highly dense housing, but we don't have that same reflection of red,
Mhm.
right?
What's that big
Right.
spot in the middle? Up top?
Way up there,
No, right, that one right here in the middle.
that one?
Yeah.
Do we know where
Is
that
that the
is?
school?
Yep.
So that's the school pavements.
Yeah, because that big white spot's gotta be DWA, right?
So when a community reduces impervious cover, or at least tries to stop the spread of impervious cover, that has two benefits. One is stormwater, and the other is you're not going to see this heat stress hotspot effect in the summertime. If you reduce impervious surfaces and replace them with permeable pavement or just grass. It can also be done on buildings, on rooftops themselves.
There's your buddy, he's eating a fish.
This is also taken by a local photographer. And now I'm going to go through the inventory, but you should know that this was Joe's work, my colleague Joe Monet. This was his specialty. So if you have questions for Joe, I may or may not be able to answer them, but I will note them down and get back to you. Joe would have loved to be here, but unfortunately he is pretty sick.
Slacker. Pneumonia, sure.
This is the open space protection map. Everything that's dark green is protected forever, in perpetuity. Everything light green, like right here, I'm gonna zoom in. Right here, here. That is limited protection.
Define it. Permanent says a whole lot. What is limited protection?
Limited duration. I mean, it could be for 10 years, for 20 years. It really depends on the terms of that conservation, easement, or restriction. Term limited or unknown is yellow. No protection is this light red color. And the burgundy is Chapter 61A. So that relates to private property, forest lands, and those private property owners are benefiting in terms of their taxes.
So what's all the white land?
White land?
Well, I mean, I would have thought that would be none, but there's different colors that are for none, so I'm just curious what everything else is not going.
Yeah, these are specific, if I may, these are specifically open space parcels.
Okay.
Yeah, so the rest is probably used for residential, commercial, that sort of thing.
Yeah, so there could be this is all open space where there's no like dwellings on the property.
Correct.
It's just open space because looking at that map, I can tell you there's a lot more land that's in chapter, but they have residencies on them. And the residencies are always taken out of chapter. They can't be part of chapter. There's a certain section of the land that can, you have to have 5 or more acres, but there's a lot more down Middle Road that properties that were in chapter that are identified there, but that's because they have dwellings on them. So they're excluded from the open space category.
Yeah,
Fair to say that?
Mhm.
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
Is there a spreadsheet of this data? I just know from the last OSRP I did, the state was very specific in how they wanted that laid out. So we can touch base offline after too, but I wanna make sure we have that
Yeah.
in the plan as well.
Have to talk to Joe.
Yeah. I recall that seeing a inventory table that Joe made.
Okay, perfect.
So not a spreadsheet, but it is in a table form.
Yeah, okay, that's perfect, thank you.
This map shows priority areas. Everything dark green, priority protection. Everything purple is priority for development, meaning something about this land, the soil type, the surroundings, it's already built. There were multiple reasons for these purple areas to be well suited for further development. And
So
this
that
yellow
one-
is combined.
That one on the left side, up that way, that's now a solar field.
This purple?
Mm-hmm.
Ah, okay.
It's known as White's Farm Dairy, it's a solar field now, or becoming one as we speak.
Yeah, it's not built yet.
Okay, good to know. We can update this map then. The highest priority land that should be protected include areas in Hathaway Swamp, the surrounding areas of Town Forest, and the parcels around Acushnet River and the reservoir.
So if I may, Jerry, it would be good to have, because your point with White's Dairy, we still have a lot of other properties up there that they look like they're open space, but they're full of solar panels right now.
Yeah.
It should be a good thing to identify that it's artist development for development aspect. It's there, it's temporarily protected for the next 20 years, basically, with solar fields sitting on it. You're not gonna have a house there.
Right, like the Girl Scout camp up in Mendon.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Okay.
Well, you guys know, planning board knows,
Yeah.
they've got like 5 or 6 large solar fields in the works right now, right? Plus down by Leonard Street, the
Yeah, we still got
Next
some of
day,
that.
one.
Yeah, we still got some of our
It's
now.
like 7, Kevin.
Yeah.
yeah, so
Yeah.
that's potential. It's unfortunate, but that's
Yeah.
wiping out buildable land, really, right?
Yeah.
Now, this map shows open space by level of protection, similar to what you saw earlier, but then there's further breakdown, different types of wetlands, priority natural communities core, different types of habitats, forest, rare species, vernal pool. It's a nice, diverse patchwork, a little bit of everything.
Looking at that, doesn't look like we have much left to go, huh?
No.
All right. Bear with me. Okay, so here we were. Acushnet owns 40.4% of its open spaces, and Buzzards Bay Coalition owns over 20%. Fairhaven Acushnet Preservation Land Trust owns over 16%, and the rest is owned by private owners and land trusts, the remaining almost 23%. What stood out in the survey responses was this desire for more recreation programming and expanded facilities, enhanced accessibility for seniors and those with disabilities, better signage and information about the conservation areas, enhanced farmland protection, and improvements to the trail connectivity. What people loved most about open space was the hiking and walking trails, followed by conservation areas. And the most popular approaches to open space preservation were promoting the use of existing open space land, encouraging donations of land, and protecting land through zoning. They said that Riverview Park is in serious need of maintenance, especially the playground. They want updates to the basketball courts, tennis courts, and soccer field. They want the town to modernize and expand walking areas. They want cleaner trails, wider trails. They said the golf course should have a clubhouse, and they called for more bathrooms at the playground. All right, now we're at the end.
It's Acushnet Park.
Here are
I know what we're talking about.
your goals and 10-year action plan. Environmental protection, recreation, transportation, and maintenance. Oh, and environmental improvement. At this point, I'm going to move into the spreadsheet just to jog your memory. This is what the spreadsheet looked like before November. Before our November meeting, you may recall that there was Serpid's writing in green, and this priority column was blank. And then, thanks to your help, we got it in this complete condition. So now, every single cell has been looked at, edited, and you all had decided these priority rankings, as well as the timeline. And also, you had given us feedback about who should be included or excluded from the responsible parties. So I want to give you all a few minutes to take this in. And if there's any further changes, I'll do them in real time.
I have a question for you, Mr. Serpent standpoint. I'm looking at how much open space that the town actually owns. How do we turn that into, is there programs out there that develop that in a way that's gonna create revenue? Because basically there's a.
Yeah. Good point, Mr. Boucher. Glad you led me into that segment.
Actually, there you go.
So I was gonna have a quick conversation while we went over this report, because I've been in conversations with multiple people, most recently with the DPW director, who he's doing these stormwater basins in back of the schools, and I'm not saying that it's gonna be done at the back of the schools, I'm not saying it's gonna be done at all, but we've been shooting the breeze about campgrounds and the revenue that can come in. That's some campgrounds, so if you look up Bourne Scenic
Yeah.
Campground, their rates are pretty exorbitant. And we have, all this open space, and I'm like, well, on the master plan committee, we're sitting there talking about trail walking and things of the like, but it hits on a good point where maybe we could explore in the future of a campground, one of our sites for a campground, and you can make some pretty decent revenue, more than what you will make on a reoccurring basis for the campground than you would with housing or any other revenue source, because once it's a one-time deal, once you get it all in there, it's gone, so, right? So, it's something that I think, it might be worth mentioning if the rest of the individuals on the master plan committee think that's something, but Mr. Boucher just hit on that and said, hey, if we have open space,
Great minds.
and we have, 100 acres somewhere, or even 50 acres somewhere, maybe it's worth putting it in the master plan for, whether it's all of us talking about it in the next 5 years, or a future generation looking back on it and going, that's a pretty good idea right there, why don't we look into that somewhere down the road, or we start talking about it now and pursuing a 5 or 10 year projection plan, whatever it may be, but it might be something that the town could have an appetite for, and and I'm not saying you're gonna have this monstrous campground, but if you have enough sites, you can make some pretty decent revenue. They have different packages, off-season, on-season, and some of these sites go $5,000-$6,000 a site.
I like the idea.
So, I mean, it's recreational, right? It fits right in the category, instead of land just sitting there being land that nobody can ever utilize and the public can't utilize. Maybe that's an option, where you go in and you clear out little sites in a certain particular area and you generate, I don't know how many sites you could do. I've been talking to some people that actually camp. Mr. Menard's one of them. He goes camping and he goes, the sites aren't really that big. They're relatively small, and they get that kind of money for that. And he's like, So I said, I'll have to look a little bit more into that and explore and have a conversation with the master plan committee, but it might be something the town may be interested in looking at and exploring and seeing what kind of sites that we have available for it and what we could fit in, I mean, it doesn't take a whole lot of staff, so, your overhead is, from the business perspective of it, your overhead's not that great. You have security cameras and watching everything in and out and all around the site, so pretty much somebody that's there,
Just setting up your pads for the campers and your electric.
pretty much, right? So,
Should I put that in here into this action plan? I can find the row relating to recreation.
I'd be okay with it, I like it.
I mean, if I just threw it out, I mean, Mr. Boucher just brought up a point, and
That's the point I was getting at, because we have so much stuff, basically we're not collecting revenue on. We own the property.
no, but
tax
you're
dollars
still
coming in.
keeping an open space and like
Fair point, yeah.
forestry type stuff, but it's a place of gathering, and I'm not just saying people from the community are gonna go, people from outside might wanna do it, depending on where it is, the campsite is, they might say, hey,
Motion to put it in the plan.
I was waiting.
there's a motion and there's a second.
I didn't want to cut you off.
Oh, there.
If you wait for him, we'll be here till 9:30.
Take it easy, Mr. Benoit.
I'm not wrong, no, Kevin.
I got something over here for you.
Are we talking like RVs?
Can we chew?
Anything?
Well, that's something that had to be discussion, yeah.
Like big RVs, things like that?
that's for the future, whoever's gonna be exploring these kind of things can discuss.
Yeah.
Do you allow certain, only up to a certain foot?
Rustic,
I don't
rustic
know.
campgrounds won't generate income. RV campgrounds will generate income.
Yeah, yeah.
Just making use of land we own, without destroying it.
Even for the youth too,
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
town and all that, I think it's a good thing.
Yeah, and you could put Old Colony to use to build some of the outbuildings that are gonna be used around there for their projects as well.
That's a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
See that, the wheels.
Maybe
are
even
still
turtle
moving.
collection
We
too.
could use it. We could actually use it to build our own new school.
Yeah, the wheels are turning now.
Asian type thing in there too.
I mean, you could, right?
So, did anyone brainstorm any other ideas of maybe potential strategies to add in? Because
That just come off the cuff, because I was just happening to look when I saw how much actually we own.
Yeah, no,
It's
yeah.
like, all I saw was
It's just-
no tax dollars,
Wow.
basically, that potentially, there's always a use for something. And
You'll thank me later,
So,
Yeah,
that's
but,
all I'm gonna say.
so that,
No,
that
and
answer your question.
I like the open spaces, I'm not against it, but there's gonna be a way to
The question
capitalize on our this is one of our resources, I didn't
was,
capitalize.
how
on
do we
our resources.
capitalize on it was the question, and he just came up with the idea, but that still didn't answer, how do we go about capitalizing on town-owned? Is there a process that we have to go through?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it certainly depends on the parcel.
Right.
It depends on what types of protections it was afforded. So there's certain types of like permanent protection. So it really depends. That's definitely like a per parcel basis. Like if there was
Okay.
one the town had in mind specifically to look into, you kind of want to start with that. It's not like a general.
And even if it had like, you know, a restriction, and Victoria, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think if it has a certain kind of restriction on it, I think when you go to the state and you're not technically gonna remove the whole restriction, there'll be some kind of a restriction to it, but they might be a little bit more forgiving knowing that this is the purpose of it, you're not turning it into this kind of development, right? Like housing and, you know, warehouses everywhere, they're gonna go, yeah, no, that's not happening. But a campground is
Like that, yeah.
pretty unobtrusive.
And again, even the income from that could be fueling, could be basically paying for the other recreational areas, like the park and all those other things that are on our tax dollars,
Yeah.
that we could take money from that and put it towards other things. It's just there.
There you go.
Like
Now,
police,
the
fire.
wheels are definitely moving now.
I just want to make sure I'm understanding this concept correctly. So would the campgrounds be open to an outsider or only to Acushnet residents?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
So, and then it could be, so I could rent, I could rent a campsite or I could buy one that's only mine forever.
No, you can't buy it. You can't buy
For
it.
seasonal or-
No, you can't buy it. Our stuff's not for, it's not for sale.
Yeah.
We're not gonna sell our land to a bunch of people just to sit there and live there permanently, but we'll rent it to you on a weekly or a monthly
Yeah,
basis, or a seasonal basis, no
Yeah.
problem. At the end of the season, once you're all done, your payment's all done, you're all done too, you need to leave.
Okay, got
And
it,
then
got
next
it.
year-
And that's how most of them run.
Next year, we're gonna rent that, at least that to somebody different. Or we'll do it to you again for a higher amount.
I like that.
How do you like that?
You're gonna run a campground
Yeah. They got Kevin thinking about money, okay, here we go.
Just the business, man.
Now we gotta pick a name.
Just to be on my, well, Mr. Rossetti just said it, me driving around in that golf cart.
It's Friday. I can't afford
And somebody
it.
said that would be $5,000 to $6,000, that's seasonal pass.
I think that's just like a.
Yeah, it's just a,
No,
yeah.
we don't need any specifics.
no specifics, it was just,
So,
the idea was out there.
Just to randomize for the master plan's sake, I think, just to put it out there and as a notation of a thought for open space, if it's
Yeah.
possible, campground facility, something like that.
yeah.
Don't make like, oh, we're gonna start renting it to Sarah for $1,000 this year, and next year she's paying us $2,000. Leave all the details out.
Okay.
To be me.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Any other additions, or did anybody have any additional comments on the existing strategies and goals?
No, I think we had we vetted
I
those.
think we vetted those pretty good.
Yeah, we spent a little time on this.
Yeah.
We did. Okay, Sarah, did you have anything else?
If you like, I can send you all the latest OSRP draft, especially if you have not yet had a chance to review.
They do have the latest version. At least the one I received.
Right. Well, we have continued working on
Oh, yeah,
it since
okay.
then, like things like the end notes and cleaning it up, so I can provide that.
Oh, thank you, yeah.
And it's good to note the changes and things like that, so
Yes.
you don't have to read through the whole thing to go look for them.
Yes, like,
That-
was
like it
that
did.
for the master plan had noted like specific pages that had changes. Like for example, this strategy that you're adding, it would be good to know like, hey,
Oh,
this was a
that-
change
The
from the
wells,
last
was it
meeting.
just-
Yeah,
so
there was, that was the
we can kinda
wells.
pinpoint
What they,
those,
what they did.
areas.
It's just, where the determination
Yeah,
came from,
yeah.
obviously Quaker, as I saw Quaker wells up on the top, and I
Okay.
Don't
I
know
would
too much
love
about
for
the
the
other
committee
ones,
to see
other than
the
what we
newest
tried to
version,
get back.
especially some of them haven't yet had a chance to read
Mhm.
the one you got.
Yeah.
Go drill some
Okay, I'm
holes
still
over
working
there.
on my
Yeah.
comments too. I
And
should
we-
have
we-
some.
Oh, there's another one there that's
Town
changed,
turned
right?
into Swiss
Cool.
cheese and
Yeah.
nobody made any water come out of it.
The,
Only place we found
the
was on
draft,
County Road.
the draft
And
OSRP had,
Snake meat,
one
years were
thing that I noticed was
from that guy. that was-
everybody on this committee, like their title or whatever was all
Yes.
switched up.
Yes, I
Like you had
noticed
Mr.
that.
Benoit on like the school committee, you had.
Yeah, someone was on planning board that was, yeah, so we'll get those things.
Yeah.
I noticed that as well when I typed it.
Oh,
Thank you. I'll send that over. That's part of my comments. that I
Yeah,
want
yeah,
to
yeah.
comment.
No, you said Kevin was on the planning board.
Yeah, that's right.
So then, what I'll do instead is I'll wait until you send me your comments, and then if you want it, I can I can address your comments and send it right back to you.
That would be great. Yeah, that way you can incorporate my set
Some
in
of the
there.
stories
and
used to
then-
get repeated.
Yeah, that would be perfect. Thank you.
Nichols, no, Nichols,
Okay.
like
Did
Alliance
you
is what it's
have
called.
anything else?
No,
on-
that's
what I
all.
was looking at.
Okay, all right.
Mr. Chair?
Yeah, what's going on? We're having a conversation right now.
It's
a meeting.
Yes, Sarah said she's all
Master
set.
Plan Committee, come on.
What about it?
I think she's saying we're done.
We're done.
You're done?
Yes.
All right.
Can I say one?
Victoria, anything?
Yes, please. So for next steps, so I just wanted to give kind of a reminder. We should be scheduling our open house in May, but not to put you on the spot, Selectman Gaspar, but do we have a date for town meeting? Because we just didn't want to plan it too close to then.
We just kind of whipped that around in
Okay.
Tuesday's meeting, and I had a conversation with the board, and I'm like, so let's not do what we've done the last 2 years, because our deficit's that much greater this year than what it has been the last 2 years. And we had to postpone 2 years in a row, 2 weeks out. I was the first one to do it 2 years ago and said, we're never making this, postpone town meeting, forget about it.
So is it going
Last
to be in
year-
May?
No, it'll be in June.
It will be in June. Oh, okay. So that should be fine then if we have our open house in May. So I'll start working on getting some dates and kind of proposing that to the committee.
And I think for the next, if we're gonna do another meeting, Victoria, that we all get our heads around the actual master plan draft, the changes that Lizette gave us to identify, look at those changes, any questions, comments, concerns about that, or perhaps the whole master plan, if you're reading through it and you find something that was either discussed or not discussed, highlight it, bring it to the committee's attention so we can get through it. We just want to try to make sure as a committee, as a whole, that we all agree on the draft before we let Victoria and Serpent kind of run off and finalize what we've done all these meetings.
And I can resend it out, so it's at the top of your inbox if that's helpful.
Yeah.
Yes? Okay. All right. That
And
was
if
all.
you want to give, Sarah said something about an updated OSRP, so if she wants to send you a newer one and we can extract that out of the other one and pop it in, and no more updates, no more confusion, let's just focus on what
Okay.
if we start adding too much more and changing things, and at the last minute, we're trying to ask everybody with the busy lives most people live, it's in the last 4 or 5 days, and they'll go look at page 200 or 100, and it just gets a little bit convoluted, so let's tackle what we need to, the main structure of the draft and the changes that Lizette identified, have that dialogue at another meeting, and if anything comes up from your side, Victoria or Serped's side, working collaboratively, I've been with Serped on this master plan, so thank you for that. And if there's anything else that comes up, we can take it up at that meeting after we're done discussing the draft, and maybe it's only a few bullet points that are indifferent from what we've already been looking at, right?
Okay. All right. That sounds good.
I think it's the best way to accomplish that goal. Mr. Sullivan?
Yes, how about any deadlines for getting this done? Is that
In
a
terms
July?
of like,
having the plan finished, or?
I mean, we're aiming for June, I believe, because we have the final workshop that we're hosting in May. That's for all 3 of our plans that we're doing, the master plan, OSRP, and the water resource. So hopefully, if there are any last remaining public comments, we can finalize those in June. The master plan specifically is a little bit different because this committee will make a recommendation to the planning board, and the planning board is the body that adopts that plan. So that one's a little different from the other 2.
I was just a little concerned about the grant money.
Oh,
Is that
okay,
a
so,
problem with?
no, so not at all. So we actually finished the grant funding last June, no, the end of the year, I believe, and we've been using another source of funding. So we had not only the community planning grant, we also had CPC funds allocated for certain sections of the plan, such as the housing and the OSRP. And then for the water resource management plan, we had a $75,000 earmark that's being done through Mass DEP. So we used up the grant money, we have no issues with deadlines. So if this does for some reason need to get pushed along, we do have some flexibility, but we just want to stay on project schedule, if that makes sense.
Good.
Okay. Anything else from the committee members?
None for me?
Mrs. St. Solis, I mean, you missed the first 10, 15 minutes, so what do you got? You got anything that you missed? You want to bring anything up?
I think we're good.
You good? Good. Very
I
good.
did my homework before I came in.
Is that what you did? Okay.
You got to go.
Victoria, anything else to add? Sarah, anything else to add?
All set.
All set? Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
We are now adjourned. Thank you.